What is up, guys? I've got the beautiful LTD EC1007 here to show you guys today, thanks to my friends at Zzounds. This is obviously a 7-string guitar. It's a baritone, so that means it's a 27-inch scale length. It also has locking tuners, as you can see. This thing also has what's called a set-through neck, which is a deep set neck with a nice curved kind of cutout right there. You kind of see it there with the light catching it. And also there's a nice little cutout right there for a little bit extra access down there on the bottom horn, so it's a little bit more comfortable than what you would typically find on other guitars shaped like this. It also has 24 stainless steel jumbo frets. It has the Fishman Fluence Modern pickups, which has a ceramic and Alnico pickup with a push-pull tone pot back here to flip from active to passive. And last but not least, it has the Evertune bridge. And after spending a little bit more time with this system, this being my third guitar that I've tried out here in the studio with the Evertune system, I have finally sort of made my peace with this setup. And after really spending time getting it set up just how I want it, I'm okay with it. I'm finally at peace with it. So I'm glad that is kind of in the past, and maybe I can find a good Evertune guitar, or maybe I can find a good guitar and have it sent to them to retrofit the Evertune system on there. We'll see. Okay, so those are all the specs for this instrument. Now, I was playing through the Mark VII here on Mark II C mode with the Halcyon Green Overdrive from Origin Effects, and I've also got the G-string in the loop for a nice tight gate on this thing. I feel like it's kind of appropriate given sort of what we're going for with the sound on this video. And I've also got the TC flashback delay in the loop. All right, let's hear some clean sounds. It's really not what this guitar was made for, and I really don't think it is very good at it given these pickups. I think that these pickups are much better at higher gain stuff, and you need a really good set of passive pickups, in my opinion, for the clean stuff and the low gain stuff. But we'll see what it can do. If you've been following me for a while, you'll remember I used to have an Ibanez Prestige 7 way back in the day, and it had the Ragnarok, it had the bare knuckle Ragnarok set in there, and they were absolutely incredible for all of the low gain, the medium gain stuff, classic rock, blues. They could do everything in addition to really high gain, tight, articulate, heavy metal stuff. So I'm kind of coming from that perspective hearing these, and I've never bonded with the sound that these pickups make. I think that they're good at what they kind of do, but they're very one-dimensional in my opinion, even in passive mode. So we'll hear what they sound like doing the clean, the crunch, and the high gain. But realistically, these are meant to do metal, and they're very good at that, but I still feel like very high output passive pickups are still a little bit better, but whatever. This is what the guitar has, that's what we'll hear. All right, here's some clean. And the passive mode. It sounds like it's split coil. It's just it's a really weak sound compared to even kind of lowish output neck pickups that are passive. Okay, let's go to the crunch. All right, we're still in the passive mode. Yeah, I'm just really not feeling the neck pickup in the passive mode. All right, back in active mode. And boosted with the Halcyon. Still really punchy and powerful on the crunch channel. The Halcyon doesn't hurt either. All right, let's get back to this lead channel here. Mark II C mode, got the gain at about halfway, treble all the way up, mids and bass all the way down, and you got the master and your presence right around 10 o'clock-ish, and you can kind of see there where the graphic EQ sliders are. Boost is off. Let's go. Let's take the gain to about there. A little bit more gain from the amp, and then I'll back it back down, kick on the boost again, kind of play around with that, see where we go. Alright, I'm at drop whatever we are at this point. I don't even know. It's really stinking low. It's really dropped. So, let's go. That was filthy, filthy. And obviously, I really kind of don't know what I'm doing here with this extra string. It's still a very foreign concept to my brain, and that's kind of my big sticking point with this guitar. If you already are familiar with 7 strings and you're used to them, I think that this is a freaking incredible instrument. It ticks all the boxes for the person who really wants an incredibly well-built, high-gain, heavy metal machine. I think that construction on this thing is flawless. The setup was incredible, perfect out of the box, and honestly, I really can't find anything wrong with it construction-wise and build quality-wise. I don't like the pickups. That's kind of where I'm at with this. I don't like the pickups. I think that a nice high gain set of a high output set of passive pickups would have been what I would prefer to have had in the guitar. And also, I think I would like a regular 6-string baritone more than a 7-string. So that's sort of where I'm at. And I've been playing this for a little over a week now, and it's a very slow adaptation process, I feel like. And I really never got used to my Ibanez, but it was also a 25.5-inch scale length guitar, and that guitar never really felt right with the 7th string. It didn't have the snap and the punch that this has. This is a much more percussive instrument, and it delivers the type of sound that I wanted out of the Ibanez that I feel like the scale length really kind of held it back on. So yeah. Okay guys, well I hope you enjoyed this video. This is a bit different for me. I wanted to kind of dip my toes back into the 7-string world and see if maybe a different guitar with a different scale length, if it would be a guitar that I gravitated more towards in terms of the whole like extra string, the low tuning, high gain stuff, things like that. But right now, I feel like I want to give a normal 6-string baritone a try, so that'll probably be coming next. And also something that maybe doesn't have these Fluence pickups in there. As for the Evertune, like I said, I think after you get it set up right, it does what you want it to do, and I've gotten this guitar doing pretty much what I want to do. I think there's a couple of strings that I feel like I could have set a little bit differently to bend a little bit further, but they still let me do like that vibrato work that I really like to kind of emphasize my playing with. So I got it set up to what I feel like I could get by with at a show. But speaking of shows, I obviously did not take this on stage anytime recently, and don't really plan to. It's still, like I said, most of our songs are either in sort of like a standard rock sound, or we'll do a drop D, and we'll kind of bounce back and forth with that. I have it set up to where I can do drop D without having to mess with the Evertune bridges or the saddles or anything like that. But the extra string, still, it just like my brain doesn't know what to do, and it just sort of, it throws me for more of a loop than what I'm comfortable with, having to try to kind of negotiate with on stage. So this did not go on stage, and nor will it go on stage. However, if I get my hands on a baritone 6-string, absolutely I'm going to take that thing on stage and see how that thing handles these lower tunings. So stay tuned for that. If you guys want to pick up this guitar, you can head over to Zzounds. I've got the affiliate link down in the description. Again, those don't cost you guys anything extra, but they do help out my channel and help support what I do here with these videos. I don't get paid for these reviews, so any help like that that I can get is much appreciated. And again, a big shout out to the guys at Zzounds for sending me this guitar to try out and to show you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next video. Take care. Bye.